easiness of work is to do with having sort of time and space to do it. So if you're successful, then you're able to create time and space to make more things, kind of thing. So it gets easier from that point of view.
I think relationships can get, like creative relationships can get a little tired sometimes. Like, you know, you sort of, I don't know, I sort of know quite a few people that work with somebody new and then they feel that they find that quite inspiring and exciting. But I don't find that with Felix. I enjoy working with him. No. I was present company accepted.
I tend to shoot off mad ideas, you know, like don't smoke.
Yes.
You know? And I shoot off mad ideas, and actually he acts as a kind of a good braking system, you know, because honestly, if every idea I had we did, I'm sure we'd be broke and on the streets, you know. But you know, he resists the right amount of time, you know, like kind of rational. He's the rational one, and I'm the kind of like the, you know.
We talk about everything and anything, you know, whether from every area of the work, of the business, personal life, friends, football, whatever it be, we discuss. And sometimes we don't agree on things, but we both think about what each other said, and we come back, and you know, it's how it works.
He's got the ideas. I resist them for 6 months, and then after a while, I just go, oh, fuck it, right, let's do it.
I moan for 6 months, and then eventually it kind of just breaks through his defences.
And then I've got an idea, I just spit it off right away. He goes, I don't like that. And then 6 months later, oh, you know what, that was a good idea.
You know, it never gets silly, for want of a better word.
It's quite direct. I mean, at different points, you know, one of us is right or wrong, or if right or wrong's the right word, but we always sort of learn to understand the other's point of view and then discuss and then move on in whatever we both feel comfortable with.
When the stakes are relatively high, there's always going to be some problems with getting things done, and it would probably be a bit boring if it was just all 5 people who just agree with each other all the time.
It's positive creative friction, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the music kind of is the product that comes out at the end, and that's just, as long as that keeps happening and is interesting and people are kind of interested in it, then it's still a worthwhile project, I suppose.
I used to work at Harrods, I used to work at Gucci, I worked in lots of little places, but it all kicked off for me. It all kicked off for me very early with DJing, actually. I sort of started when I was 15, 16, and by the time I was 17, it was work.
I worked in Selfridges, actually.
I heard this. I heard you were the musical director of Selfridges.
I was taking care of the music for the women flow. So I was entertaining all the women around.
It was a win-win situation.
Yes. And then, funny enough, because I was DJing there as well, so I was playing like chill music. I got my taste in music by playing there for 8 hours a day. And every now and then I would look at some girls who get changed and
He'd look at girls changing, he'd look at girls undressing and dressing.
Yes. And they were like, oh, does it look good
and
on
try
me?
and match the music
to
the mood of them taking their clothes off.
The strangest one, I was working in a hospital as a porter, and one of my jobs was to basically, when someone died, I had to go, should we say this? Anyway, yeah, I had to basically go to the room, put the dead person in the bag and take it. You never told me that.
Yeah, well, apparently Morrissey did exactly the same job. And I think it makes a lot of sense.
That's the thing, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of musicians go on about how it's hard. It's not really hard. Nothing, like, it's the best job in the
it's
world.
all relative, yeah.
It's relative. Oh, absolutely not. No, like, we complain about, oh yeah, you know, we've been in the studio for like 5 hours playing some music. It's not really like...
Maybe like being a painter, that would be, if you're a really successful painter.
Yeah,
that would be harder.
I don't know if it would be harder. It depends what size canvases you're working on.
If they were really small,
that would be probably
might give you a bit of a headache.
Yeah. So red arrows. Wow. That was pretty close. I think he's going to be all right.
The travelling can be very, 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 very toiling.
sometimes when you miss a plane or when you're in a airport for 6 hours, it does feel hard.
Sometimes when Luca gets a desire to eat pasta for 3 minutes before the flight's about to leave and then misses his flight, it's a pain.
You know, it's recently I was at home for a couple of weeks and I realised how acclimatised I am to travelling because I was getting itchy feet, sort of looking at the web thinking, oh, you know, where should I plan to go? Because I was trying to plan a holiday. It doesn't, because the diary's busy, but sometimes I just am so used to organising and where we're going and talking about where we're going, and it just becomes an ingrained part of you after so many years.
If you're booking for DJs with good agencies, then it's all really easy because it's really straightforward. They just send you the flights and you book it. But when you're working with other people, like we have
amateurs is what you're trying to say.
Amateurs, like they have no idea how to organise themselves. So you spend half your life booking the flights and then changing the flights that you've already booked.
I must say though, when Julie did this job last year, she did do it a lot kind of faster than you did. I seem to remember we had all the flights booked like in about a week. This is taking you literally months.
This isn't my primary job, right? So
yeah, fair enough. Milk it.